Good day to you and welcome to another Paddocks Club tutorial. Today we're going to talk about dangerous situations on the common property. I'm going to give you a few examples. Let's start with slippery floors, those that become slippery when wet or after polishing, lift doors that don't open flush with exterior floors when the lift opens, remote control gates not working properly. These are all things that happen fairly regularly in sectional title schemes. And what's the typical response? Well, you put up a sign. You would normally make arrangements to have whatever danger exists fixed, or to remove the danger in whatever way is most sensible at the time. Clearly, everybody knows you can't just leave the danger in place and not do anything. And if you're not sure whether the danger is gone, then leave a warning in place. Sometimes you fix something, but and it breaks again, and you think the second time it gets fixed, oh dear. So you might leave a sign saying, look, this thing's dicky, we've had it fixed, but please use it with care. You also should look at the situation. If people, for example, live in a block of flats and seldom come home, maybe you want to just tell them that the lift is in trouble at the moment if you haven't decided to turn it off, if you haven't decided, if you've decided that it would be too inconvenient to have the lift off and you've put up signs and that sort of thing. You need perhaps to make sure that other people who only use the facility occasionally are made aware. Let's have a look at the legal principles. Well, they're fairly simple. The body corporate, and that is the trustees in practice, are in control of the common property. Very often, this control will be practically exercised by the managing agent. And these people have a duty to ensure that the common property is safe for normal use. But you may say, we have insurance. What about insurance? Let's look at that. Prescribed Management Rule Section 29.2 requires indemnity insurance for death, bodily injury or illness, and loss of or damage to property that occurs in connection with the common property. But you have to bear in mind, so even though you may have that policy in place, you once a year should check that it's a reasonable amount, but also most insurance policies require that the insured, that is the body corporate or trustees, do whatever is reasonably possible to reduce the risk and report the danger to the insurance company. You can't just sit back and say, well, we've got insurance for that. We don't need to have procedures and protocols in place when a danger shows itself. You do. And finally, let me just look at the situation of abnormal use. What happens if you see people abseiling off the roof, just to take a ridiculous example, or more normally, skateboarding down steep roadways? Well, the trustees or the agents do have an obligation to intervene. You must go to the kids and say, stop, that's dangerous. Or go to the abseilers and say, no, you can't do this, you don't have our permission, stop it immediately. And you have to take reasonable steps to stop the activity. In the case of the skateboarders, the best thing may be to talk to the parents. In the case of the abseilers, perhaps blocking off access to the roof would be more sensible. Thank you for joining me in this Paddocks Club tutorial, and if you have any questions, let's chat about them in the discussion forum.